Hi everyone, it's Alisa Tilsner. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Each month when I do I run a class by mail, and each month I pop in a little treat with their class packets. So this month I am designing cute little boxes to hold their treats. I usually do a 3D project for each one, and I thought I'd start making videos of the 3D items that I create so that you might be inspired to create some personalized 3D gift boxes as well. So I generally start out, I'm not going to pull in what I'm giving them this month because obviously we're still waiting for my class supplies to turn up, but I will show you a little bit of the method that I use. So I start off by measuring what I'm going to put inside the box, and so what I measured this time was 4 inches by 3 inches, and I thought just to leave a little bit of like wiggle room and so it doesn't get all squished up, I would make it a depth of 1 inch as well. So then I try and visualize that's how I want my box. This is just scrap, obviously. I just grab whatever's close to me, but I thought I would explain what I actually do. So I wanted a box that had like a little front flap that folds open. So I then try and work out in my head what it is going to look like when it's opened out flat. So I know that it was 4 inches by 3 inches, and then it had a depth of 1 inch, and then we want the other side, and then this is the fold over flap, and then we need some side tabs, and I sort of just try and progress from there. So after I've drawn out a rough idea of what I think it might turn out like, I then transfer it just to ordinary copy paper. So and then I work out exactly, like for this one, I realized that I needed to make these side tabs a little bit wider. So I actually took 2 goes at this one. I'm actually getting a bit better. So, and then I do all my measurements and I work out exactly how it's going to be on copy paper. And then I start transferring it to my cardstock and get it to work. So I know that for this one, I've got a 4 inch and my 1 inch depth. So I need a piece of cardstock that works out to be 6 inches, and then I just add all these little bits up, and that worked out to be 9.5 inches. So 6 inches by 9.5 inches. Okay, then I'm just going to grab my paper trimmer, make sure my cutting blade is well out of the way. So my first score line is at 1 inch. Along that long side, and then I'm just going to swing it around because it's easier, and I'm going to do 1 inch on this side as well. Okay, I need to swing my arm out, and then I'm going to be working from this way and going along that way. So I know that my first score line is going to be 3 inches, so you can jot these down or I will have them over on my blog. So 3 inches, then we're going to move it across 1 inch. So 3 inches, 4 inches, 7 inches, and 8. So 3, 4, 7, and 8. Okay, and then we have this going on. Now this is the front of my box down here, and this is my lid up here. So I am going to swing around. Sorry if this is, I hope I've got everything in these. Sorry if you can see my stand, but it might just be a little bit easier. So I'm going to come down, and because it's just easier for me to see what I'm doing, I'm lining my score line up with my cutting blade, and I am actually going to cut off these bottom tabs. So I'm just going to bring it into where that score line, that second score line is, and just cut there, and then across, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So from that score, the second score tab, it's not closing, and then down, and then you can cut these off by scissors if you wish, but I just want it to be a tiny bit neater. So that one goes, and then down here, and that one goes as well. Okay, so then we've got this. This is our lid. I need to put a new blade in my machine, I think, my trimmer. Okay, now these tabs here need to be half the size. So I'm just going to pop that in at the 1/2 inch mark. So that's lining up at the 1/2 inch. And I'm going to bring my cutting blade up to that score line there. And just slit that. Oops, that is not 1/2 an inch, that was 3/4 of an inch. See, I'm still getting used to my inches. Come in at 1/2 an inch and I'll do the same thing. It'll probably be fine. I'll probably be able to still create my box, even though I had a boo-boo. And then I'm actually going to snip them. So I'm going to cut straight into that score line and put a little angle on that one. Okay, and don't forget that one should actually be a little bit bigger than that, but I reckon I will be able to still cope. And I'm also going to cut into that score line as well. Oops, I've already done that one. I did that one and I didn't even realize. Okay, I'm just going to fancy up my edge a little bit because I wanted it on a bit of an angle. You can use a corner rounder if you want, but I'm just going to bring it so that my tip is at the 1/2 inch and line that up. So I'm just lining up the score line and then this tip with the 1/2 inch, and that will give me my angle. Okay, I definitely need to put a new blade in my trimmer. Okay, so that is all of that. So I'm just going to fold and score. Okay, and then my sides. Tiny little one. My boo-boo side. I'm crossing my fingers that it's still okay. Right, so I'm just going to turn it over. I'm just going to use tear and tape for these ones. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of tear and tape on the top side of that. Give it a little burnish. And the same with that one. Okay, then I'm going to turn it over and pop some adhesive along the edge of our long one. All right, then I'm going to peel this one off and fold that one up and close that. And same for this side. Now this one's going to be a little bit trickier because it's a little on the thin side, but it's still going to work for me. And then these guys, I'll do the skinny side first. That will just close up and meet along there. And because it's thin, I'm just going to give that a little bit of a rub on the inside. Okay, so there we have our little box. So I'm going to pop my treat into it. And then got some of this gorgeous satin ribbon. And I'm just going to close that off with a knot at the top. Okay, get that centered. Okay, so now I just need to decorate the front. So I'm going to be using the Crane of Fortune because I always like to keep a theme going on with my cards. So whatever my theme of my class by mail. Oh, you know what? I'm being a bit silly. I've already got them. I've got them all mounted already. So I'm going to use Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. I like to keep everything sort of themed together. So whatever our class by mail theme is what I decorate the box with. So I'm just going to ink that up and taking the ink pad to the stamp because the stamp is a little bit bigger than the ink pad. And just going to stamp that down. My gorgeous crane. So that one is in Evening Evergreen. And I do get a little bit of shadowing on this one. So I might actually even take some scissors and try and trim off some of that actual stamp so that I don't get some ghosting on that. But that's fine because I'm actually going to die cut that. So that's fine. And then my sentiment, and I'm going to do this one in the Soft Succulent so that it matches my ribbon. Okay, and I've got a little bit of ghosting on that one too. Must be just my stamp set. So I am going to go and die cut this one, and I'm also going to trim that one up, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I'm back and I've got everything die cut and trimmed. So I'm just going to pop some dimensionals on the back of my crane, but I'm only going to pop them on the top. So 2 on the wing and 1 on his head. And then I'm also going to pop 2 dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. So this is really quick and easy. So I'm only going to stick his head down. So I'm going to pop that down like that. So this way, when you undo your knot, you can just slide the ribbon, maybe, I hope. Anyway, and then I'm going to pop, I'm hoping that the whole box doesn't need to be destroyed when it gets opened. So I'm going to pop that over the top, and that is just going to hold it down a little, but you can actually pull them out, pull his legs out and get them all finished off that way. So I have got a few more to make. I hope that made sense. It still worked even though I cut one of my edges a little bit side, but just remember that's a 1/2 inch. I will see if I can take a photo of my template and actually pop that up on my blog as well. So I'll have all the measurements over on my blog, and when I have done my blog post, I will come back and link to my video. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope it made sense, and we will see you again on Thursday mornings. I go live on my YouTube channel, 10 a.m. at South Australian time. So hope to see you there. Okay, see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.